Welcome to the Crypto Boss Andrew channel. Let's get started. Let me make sure the sound is working. Testing. Alright, so let's first start out at the Crypto Fear Greed Index. Before we get too far into this, I do want to let you guys know, like always, we have a Telegram group which is free to join. Link to join that is in my YouTube description and my bio on TikTok. And also we have a Patreon which you can join by joining the Telegram or by clicking the link in my description. But let's get into crypto. As I go live Saturdays and Mondays, 11 p.m. Central Time. Sometimes those do change, but that's kind of what we got going on right now. So right now, I don't think this has changed really at all since yesterday, maybe by 1. It's at 74. Maybe yesterday we were at 75 on the greed index. So really, nothing to worry about. Nothing has changed. There's a new meme coin in town that I do want to talk about. So that is something I do want to discuss a little bit. But with that being said, let's get over to Bitcoin. I did say I expected a drop on the 4-hour time frame. Now the 4-hour time frame is making a lower low. So that is something to look at. Nothing has changed on the weekly, so I'll just start on the 3-day. The 3-day time frame right now is overbought. The 2-day time frame is actually getting oversold pretty quickly. I want to see the 2-day time frame and the daily time frame and the 3-day time frame all hold the level of $65,500, which is the weekly support on Bitcoin. The daily time frame right now is making a higher low. If you can hold 66,500. So really I would like to hold that level on Bitcoin. Now going back to the 4-hour chart, this is a quick update because we went over it yesterday. Not much has changed. I did say we were expecting dump. That happened. And now you're basically sitting on support here at 67.5. I would like to hold 66.5 because that would be a higher low or a double bottom. And $65,500 is weekly support. So that's what we're looking at. Best case scenario, you get the bounce here at 67.5, 67.6. If you can do that, then you can be targeting that resistance up here at 71,287. So that is your update for Bitcoin. If you lose 67.4, your next stop is $65,500 on Bitcoin. Now going down to the 1-hour chart. 1-hour chart is ready for a bounce. It looks like you probably already bottomed out on the 1-hour chart at 67.8. So we'll see what happens. But right now, bulls need to target 71,365, and bears would want to break this support at 67,587. If you can do that, then you can target that weekly support at $65,500. So we'll see what happens. But right now, short term, based on the 1-hour chart and based on the 4-hour chart almost being oversold, and you did just make a new 4-hour candle, but I'm expecting some kind of bounce here on Bitcoin, bare minimum, to fill this gap up here at 69,400. So I'm expecting to bounce back to 69,400 short-term price action. Longer-term price action, the 3-day time frame still needs a cool down. So if we consolidate around these levels for the next few days, it wouldn't surprise me. I expect a sideways week now for the Bitcoin market. Maybe a small bounce here short term. That's what we're looking at. I believe tomorrow we'll get a little bit of a green day. Nothing crazy, but a little bit of a green day. So that's what I'm looking at. If you guys have requests for altcoins, let me know in the comment section below. There's a new coin I do want to talk about, which I just put $500 into. It is over here on the Solana network. Let me just refresh the page really quick. So right now, this is sitting at $6 million. I'll just go over here. It's sitting at $6 million. It is Donald Trump Jr. It's extremely high risk, not financial advice, not saying buy, but I bought at 52 basically. It went up to 78 real quick. I bought right before the breakout, and now it's testing the $5 million level as support. We'll see what happens. But these people who have been in this project before have had other projects go to 100 million, so that's over 10x from here. I'm putting my money in. When I get double, triple, I'll get my initial out and let the rest run. Right now, I also have money in Hablo. I put 300 in this. That is down like 80%, 70%, so that's not good. But the other one that is doing really well is, is Prick. I've been talking about this for the last few weeks, and it's done very well. This other MAGA coin is not doing well either. But Prick is at a $10 million market cap. It went all the way up to $15 million. And I was talking about this when it was at like 1.2 or 12, and now it's at 1.1. So like over 10x ago, I was talking about this coin. I saw this initially at 0.4. Now it's at 1.1. No, it's at like 11. But I didn't talk about it until 1.1 or 1.2. And now it's at 11. We'll see what happens. It is... I consider most, or basically all coins on Solana to be meme coins, but this coin does have a game. It's doing pretty well, and I'm sitting pretty right now on my moon bag. We'll see what happens with this, but again, something to have on your radar is Prick, because I think it's going to $100 million, which is still a 9x away. So, anyways, that's what we got going on, and yeah, I'm also in Bitcoin Cash right now. That is not doing so hot either. My stop loss is $440, so it's getting kind of close to that. But yeah, it's kind of what's going on in the crypto market. And let me go see what Dogecoin is doing. I'm going to do a video really quickly on XCN. Which is on MEXC. So bear with me while I do that. Testing, testing, testing. Welcome to the Crypto Ninja channel. Let's look at XCN really quickly. XCN, I had this in a massive falling wedge with a measure move up to 5.5. Or yeah, 5.5. Right now you're at 1.8. So that is about a 3x from here. Weekly chart is bottomed out. I think there's something to have on your radar now because the weekly chart is bottomed out. The 3-day time frame has also bottomed out. And you had bearish divergence back here. I think that's already played out to the downside, and now you're ready for a bounce. The 2-day time frame also is ready for a bounce, making well, that is oversold right now on the 2-day. The daily is also oversold, and as far as I'm concerned, that is actually a higher low now on the daily time frame. So XCN ready for a move if you can hold this level right here at 18. If I go down to the 4-hour chart, 4-hour chart still needs to break out. I would like to see the 4-hour chart make a higher high above 2.0, above 21 even. But if you can do that, that would be extremely good situation on XCN. Your next resistance for XCN is 23, and then above that a little more is 26. But then if you break 26, I see a breakout all the way back to the highs. Or at least until 34, and then above that you're looking at 47 is the next resistance on XCN. So we'll see what happens. It's something I'd have on my radar, and it's starting to look a little bit more bullish to me on the higher time frames. We'll see what happens. But XCN is something that I see doing pretty good. You can buy this on spot on MEXC, no futures, but you can buy it on spot. It's still pretty high risk in my opinion, but it's something to look into. I think it's pretty much bottomed out here, not financial advice, but we'll see what happens. If you guys enjoyed this quick update on XCN, appreciate if you hit the like, subscribe, hit the bell notification so you get notified every time I go live or post a video on XCN on my YouTube channel. I'll see you guys in the next one. I'm not in Hee Coin, no. I am not. Thank you, user75, for the follow. Bitcoin dragging the whole market down again today. Yeah, I talked about this yesterday, and I think short-term Bitcoin is ready for a bounce. Mara, please. Let's go look at Mara, M-A-R-A. I'm going to use Mara on MEXC. I don't know if that's what you want me to do. The weekly chart has no data. The 3-day time frame has no data. The 2-day time frame has no data. And if this is what the chart looks like, I'm not going to be able to look at this. So, I don't know if I want to look at this. Chart looks horrific. It looks like a scam coin that went to 0, and now it's not worth anything. Yeah, that, I mean, look at the daily chart. That's the daily chart. It looks, I can't look at that. Thank you for the follow or the share, Joseph. Nvidia, N-I-V-I-D-A. Is that a stock? N-I-V. I-D-I-A. NVIDIA. Here we go. Alright, so let's look at NVIDIA. It is doing well. This weekly chart isn't a massive breakout. That's obviously an all-time high on NVIDIA. 3-day time frame, the 2-day. So there's not a lot I can tell you because you're at all-time highs right now on NVIDIA. I would basically wait for a pullback, or I don't know if I would short this because right now it's basically doing a short squeeze. But your next support, if you get a correction here, would be $98, and I think $100 would be psychological resistance and support, which you touch $100 back here, got rejected, came down to 73 before you broke out. So $100 or $98 is going to be support on NVIDIA when it gets a pullback. I would assume it's going to have to get one at some point, especially because it's the stock market and not crypto. But smaller term price action has resistance at 126. If you don't get back up to 126, I would expect to move back to 100. If you break 126, then obviously you're at all-time highs again. So that's what we're looking at on NVIDIA. These are the smaller time frame support and resistances. I also see more support on NVIDIA at 116. So if you don't break 126, I would expect to move back to 116, then 107, then 99 if you keep falling. You're well above the 200-day moving average and the 21-day moving average, which is the blue line. So NVIDIA right now, if you hold 116, is extremely bullish. If you don't hold 116, if you lose 116, then I'm expecting a bigger pullback, probably below 100. But if you keep going up, then obviously you're going to make new all-time highs. That's my update for NVIDIA. Yeah, the chart looks actually pretty bullish to me. So, any thoughts on Duco? Duco? Now this chart actually looks good. There's nothing on the weekly. There's nothing on the 3-day to look at. I guess you have yeah. 2-day looks good. Daily is above the 21. I like that. Let's go down to where we have the 200. 200 on the 8 hours. So the 8 hours, the first time frame I can really give you price action on. So I'm just going to make the support and resistances really quickly. And yeah, you're coming up to a support here at 35. If you don't hold 35, then I would look for the next support to be 22, 23 level. And then below that, you're looking at the 13 level on Duco. 8 hours oversold, that's a good sign. The 6 hours oversold, I don't usually look at these time frames, but because you don't have a lot of data, that's what I'll do. So as far as this goes, I would just be looking at support on Duco right now. I don't really consider this a falling wedge, but I guess you could say it's a lopsided one. In a coin like this, I would trust the support zones more, but I guess you could say that is kind of not the prettiest falling wedge, a more slanted falling wedge, but the measure move would be an all-time high. But a short, easier price action to look at, I would say if you hold the level of 35, you're going to make a new all-time high, or at least test the resistance at 66. Your measure move would take you up to about 70, 75. I would be taking profits earlier than that. Maybe even right before all-time highs. Not financial advice, but that's personally what I've been doing. Duco looks pretty good to me, though, right now. Thank you for the heart puffs. I love you, too. Thank you. And thank you for the roses. Appreciate that. I'll give those to Mary Jane. Can you check Amazon? Let's go look at Amazon. Amazon. Alrighty, so let's look at Amazon. Amazon's at all-time highs right now. It's been a very long time since I've looked at Amazon. Your all-time high would be what, 191, 192. So let's kind of look at this. I don't know if I've ever actually looked at Amazon on here because I have no price history on Amazon. So I don't usually do fibs, but when you're at all-time highs, It's like you need to know where the market's going next. Your next target would be 2.7. I can't talk, I need water. 217 is your next target on Amazon. So not a lot to go off of. I like the weekly. Weekly is about to rip. Amazon is at all-time highs. This is actually one to watch, I would say now. Amazon's at all-time highs right now, and the weekly chart is just getting started, like it hasn't even bounced yet. So I don't usually look at the stock market or care about the stock market. I do have money in the stock market, but that's like super long term. But I might have to tell my stock person to put some money in Amazon, because the weekly chart's about to rip here. How's the monthly looking? Monthly's cooked, but 3 days even looking good. The 2 days even looking good. The daily is overbought, but like Amazon's probably about to rip on the weekly. On the weekly. Like this thing looks bullish. So I would be I might buy some Amazon this week, because this thing looks ready. Like I don't think I'd do futures on it, but like frankly, this is like a bull pennant here on the weekly time frame for Amazon. And whether you say that's your low or this is your low down here, either one's insane. Amazon is probably about to break out. I think there's going to be very bullish news on Amazon here coming up pretty soon, because the charts tell you what's going to happen next. So the conservative target to the upside is 258, and because that's probably what we should be going off of, but the aggressive target's 290. I'll do the conservative one because frankly it's a stock market. I think these can break out, but I believe Amazon's about to go to 258 here in the next few months, maybe 3 to 6 months. We'll see what happens, but Amazon is probably a good play right now based on this chart. So thank you for this request. This is by far one of the more bullish charts, especially in the stock market right now, and it's doing pretty well as well. So I like what I'm seeing actually in Amazon. Usually when the charts look this bullish to you, something big is coming. So if we see bullish news in the next month on Amazon, I would not be surprised at all. So now I frankly will be watching Amazon news and see what happens in it, and if it does something crazy, I'll, there's something to be said about that. So see what happens. But Amazon, thank you for that play. It looks really, really bullish right now. And thank you, Tone, for the follow. Yeah, thank you for the follow. I would be watching Amazon right now for a massive move to the upside. I am going to add this to my watch list as well. And I'll probably be, what is today? Today Monday? No, Sunday? No, today's... So tomorrow I'll be talking to my stock person and telling them to buy some Amazon. So thank you for that. Or maybe I'll just buy some myself. I don't know. I'd rather have Amazon, my Roth IRA, versus... Or maybe I could do both. It doesn't matter. Anyways, thank you for that request. Guys, we go live Mondays and Saturdays, 11 p.m. Central Time. So thank you for stopping by. If there's any other requests, let me know. And thank you for 9 more roses. Wow. We got 19 roses up in here. APL. I think that's their ticker, isn't it? Apple? Maybe. APPLE. Maybe it wasn't. Is the whole stock market just making new all-time highs right now? Is that what's going on? I have money in the stock market. I just don't pay attention to it. So, Apple, I don't like what Apple's doing. Look at this. Like, Apple right now is probably about to dump, because this is a rising wedge, and I'm just going to do a video on it because why not? Testing. So Amazon, I believe, is about to rip here. But Apple looks extremely bearish. This is what I call a rising wedge. These break down 68% of the time. Now, if they do break out, they break out parabolically. But this is a rising wedge. These break down parabolically to the downside. Usually, they break down to where they came from. And I would say this started at 122. So Apple right now is probably about to dump. Another reason I believe Apple is about to go to have a move to the downside is the fact that the weekly chart is completely overbought. And right now you're also making like a double or a triple. Now that's a triple top. 1, 2, 3. So if you do not break $200, you are going to see a move to the downside on Apple. Very likely. I'm not saying take shorts on this, but I would say if you own Apple, sell into resistance, buy on support. If you're investing in it, maybe don't worry about it. But the weekly time frame is a big time frame. Even if I was investing Even if I was investing in Apple, I might be considering getting out, unless you're investing for like the next few decades. Alright, so that's what I'm looking at. Rising wedge, that's bearish. That's the first reason. Overbought on the stochastics, and right now you have a triple top. So 3 bearish signs right now for Apple. 1 bullish sign is you are well above the 200, but you could also say that's bearish because at some point you need to revisit the 200-day moving average. So really, that I would say that's also, I don't know, bearish, bullish. It depends if you keep going up here. If Apple breaks $200, then you have then that's a different story. But for right now, Apple, until it breaks $200, is a sell to me. So I don't usually look at the stock market, but thank you for these requests. I appreciate them. If you guys enjoyed this, appreciate if you hit the like, subscribe, share this video with your friends so you guys get notified every time I post a video and go live. I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you for the request. All right. Thank you, Maroof, for the share. I don't know what Zach is. I've heard of it maybe. But DTJR is about to make a new all-time high. So, alright. So with that being said, guys, that's going to wrap it up for me. And I'll be back live Saturday, 11 p.m. Central Time. Until then, trade safe. Have a great week, y'all. I'd be looking for Apple to make a correction this month and Amazon to make a new all-time high. So maybe sell Apple and buy Amazon. I don't know. That would be my play if I owned both. With that being said, guys, that's what I'm looking at. I expect a small bounce here for Bitcoin tomorrow, maybe up to 69,000. But that's what we got going on right now. Thank you guys for stopping by, and I'll see you guys next week for our next live stream, Saturday, 11 p.m. Central Time. Until then, have a great week. Again, my plays right now would be Amazon, DTJR as a high risk one, and Prick, I would have that on your radar. Again, yeah, that's what we got going on. And I'm long on BCH, which is scaring me right now, but anywho. I'm going to end the YouTube stream. We are live on YouTube. I don't know why no one watches there, but